I've got cramps. I'm heavily fatigued. I feel like my lower regions, my fallopian tubes, my uterus, I feel like it's being sucked out of me through my vajayjay. I say that to say this message that I'm about to deliver is important. It is the reason why I dragged myself out of bed for this cup of coffee and to deliver this message. Make sure if you see this message to repost it to the masses. It's that important. If you live in the state of Georgia, today is the last day to register to vote for the upcoming elections.
You're less than a month out from when you're going to have the chance to vote on issues that will directly impact your community.
Right, so today is the last day to register to vote ahead of the November 7th municipal elections. So Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer has some really important dates you need to know about.
Well, everything from the mayor to city council seats to school board seats are all on the line in several metro Atlanta counties. Here, the Fulton County Government Center is one of the locations where you can vote. Now, here are some important dates to remember. Today is the deadline to register. Election Day happening November 7th. Early voting begins October 16th. Any runoffs, that's going to happen December 5th. Now, there may be some hurdles for a few voters. If you just moved to Georgia, you may need to take an extra step and show proof of residency if you have an out-of-state ID. But that's nothing that election officials cannot help you with when you sign up. We talked to a woman during the last election season. In fact, it was last fall. She thought it was very important for her to make sure she had all her ducks in a row so her voice can be heard.
Seeing as though I have a Florida license, I had to show proof of residency. So when I submitted my application via mail, I had to attach a utility bill just showing that I do live in Georgia now. I just think it's important to just let our voice be heard, vote for someone who we feel represents our beliefs.
Registration should be seamless and easy if you are already a registered voter. Voting machines will be set up here at the Government Center. A lot of people have been pushing to go back to paper ballots, in particular one advocacy group. But the Secretary of State says Georgians can rest assured that they can trust the electronic voting system. From the Fulton County Government Center, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta.
For my Georgians, here's some additional information. Here are some key voting days. Put these on your calendar so you'll be aware of the voting days here in Georgia. Head on over to the Georgia State, the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger's website. It has all of the information you need. It gives you a step-by-step guide in registering to vote. It will tell you what you need to register. It will provide you with a paper voter registration application. You can also register online now. And here you can check the status of your voter registration. Please make note, if you register online, you will need a valid driver's license or a valid Georgia state of Georgia identification card. If you are a Georgia resident, take this time to check the status of your voter registration. We know that periodically people who think they are registered to vote end up miraculously, some way, somehow getting booted from the voter rolls. So take this right now as a reminder to check the status of your voter registration. Lastly, there are some local elections that will be taking place, I believe, later this year. I'm not 100% sure. It's based on your county. So if you are in Fulton County, if you're in DeKalb County, if you're in Cobb County, and so on, check to see if there are any local elections coming up in your county. Local elections are just as important. That is where you vote for your chief of police. You vote for your dog catcher if you have to vote that in. Where you vote for school board members. Your local elections are equally as important. So please check your county through Brad Raffensperger's office, his website. He lists them all. to see what upcoming elections and the dates for those elections, and also add those onto your calendar. If you are not a Georgia resident, this information still applies to you. Check your voter registration if you think you're registered to vote, especially if you are in a Republican state. Check the status of your voter registration. If you are not registered to vote, check to see when is the last day that you will be eligible to vote, register to vote. I know Ohio is also, today is the cutoff for them to register to vote. And they've got a very important election coming up soon. So this doesn't just apply to Georgia. This can apply to all 50 states. I'm going back to bed.